we'll put a little grub up here on the table and do me. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for coming out. And we're going to get into something. This ain't even a part of my lecture. This is like some current event stuff first. Then we'll get into my lecture. So we're going to be here for a minute, and I am an expert in talking Kung Fu. So if you got to step outside for a minute and get some air, that's cool too, because I can go. With that said, we're going to get started. All right, as you see, I'm going to start here. Stop snitching. Now, I'm not telling you to stop snitching, but I want to examine what this means. Okay, does this mean if you're a drug dealer, let me get out of the line, if you're a drug dealer and you coming into my neighborhood to poison me and my family, because we're all affected by it, that I should not call the cops on you? Is that what that means? No. Because we're all in this together. Even if you don't use drugs or sell drugs, we're all in the same community, so we're all affected by it. Because if your little grandma's bringing the groceries home and somebody pull out the hammer and push her wig back, you know what I'm saying? Because they got to get their fix, we're all still affected by it. So what are these drug dealers telling me when they say stop snitching? It's really complicated. It's not as simple as don't tell. Or are they saying we here meeting at the Lush Cafe and we're going to talk some militant shit today to show you how we're going to take back over, you know what I'm saying, our streets, so stop snitching. Don't call the cops on us doing something progressive. What does it mean? This is what I'm asking. Because it can have a dual meaning to it. You follow what I'm saying? Now, same time, they tell you, we want to find out who killed Tupac. We want to find out who killed Biggie. What? Stop snitching. I'm confused. Because we know who killed Tupac and we know who killed Biggie. And there's some brothers who was there who bear witness who saw it all. But the code on the street is stop snitching. So we can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? We can't say stop snitching, but tell me who killed Tupac or tell me who killed Biggie. It also gets twisted even further. Busta Rhymes is twisted up in something right now. You probably watched the news or heard about it. They're all up in New York shooting a video for his touch it, feel it, back video, whatever the case may be. And 150 people witnessed his bodyguard get killed. 150 people and saw Busta standing right next to his bodyguard.
Including him, word up.
Including Busta Rhymes. So now Busta is in it because either Busta has to snitch on who did it, lose his so-called street credibility, whatever the case may be, or he might have to go to jail. Perjury, because you see, Lil' Kim decided not to snitch. You see what I'm saying? And she had to do time. So it's a real thin line between snitching and not snitching. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of just tossing those terminologies around, because if somebody killed my little grandma, I'm going to be up on TV like somebody tell me something. You know what I'm saying? You may talk about I ain't snitching something, but if I go upside your head with a baseball bat, you're going to tell me something. Or who killed my little grandma when she was bringing the groceries home. You follow me? So I wanted to bring that up. I don't know how this is going to play out, because I think Tony Yayo got to go back to jail. I think he violated parole by him being the so-called getaway driver and so forth and so on. So it's cliche-ish. Be careful how you use stop snitching. Now, if you saying you ain't going to tell the cops that we here, black people meeting about how to get out of this, that's beautiful. Because that's the way the ancestors did it. You know what I'm saying? If I was on the Underground Railroad and I was trying to escape, right? Where you going? Ain't nothing better than this. Master give us good food. All right, that's cool. You stay here, but stop snitching. Alright. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to throw that out there because it's really critical. We'll go here. This is all just current events. Nas and Jay-Z, they're back together now. He signed to Def Jam, Nas, after a big feud that was going on for years and so forth. Now again, I like to look at things on multiple levels. You can't fault two black men who had different points of views, because we just saw an example of it. Griff and Minister Server You can't fault two brothers who have different points of views decide to say, you know what? We do have a common bond. And if we're really about helping black people, you might like to wear white t-shirts, I might like to wear black t-shirts. But if we have a common bond, and that's to help our people, then I don't have no problems with that. But this might be about something else. We're going to have to really, really investigate. Now, picture Malcolm and Martin. Say, you know what, man, all right, let's just get together. Because we love black people. You do it your way, I do it my way. But we have a common bond, and that's to help black people, whatever your religion is, whatever. I don't have no problem with that. But I have a genuine love for black people. And if you do, we can find a common ground to get that done. And I'm not likening them to Martin and Malcolm per se, but you have to, because they killed off all of the so-called black leaders. This is your new black leader. As crazy as it may seem. Where's all the Martins and Malcolms and Hueys? They gone. These are the people who are reaching your children. Right here. You see what I'm saying? This is it. So I wanted to throw that out there because we're going to pay close attention to find out if they just joined forces because they figure 50 Cent is getting too big. You know what I'm saying? Or this is something genuine in their heart to say, listen. All right?
You see they just had a Sway interview, both of them, on MTV.
I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I know MTV is going to show it again.
No, go online.
I heard their body language was a little funny.
It was crazy.
I heard Jay-Z and Nas' body, when they said, y'all going to do an album together, I heard their body language was like, no, hell no. You know what I'm saying? So we have to pay attention to that and monitor that. All right. My voice is a little hoarse. We was out doing some nigga shit last night. Keep it real. We up in a little sports bar watching the dunk contest and shit. And we saw some incredible dunks. Because listen, I don't care what you study, you gotta stay grounded in everyday things. You know what I'm saying? I almost lost my wife one time because I kept dealing on high frequencies, and she's like, nigga, I don't care about all that. I got to go get the groceries. Let's talk some regular human stuff. So you have to keep grounded. So the dunk contest was real phenomenal. It just showed that black people continue to reinvent themselves, because I thought I saw the greatest dunks ever 5-10 years ago. And we continue to keep doing it and doing it. So I saw something that made me get up and testify. I was like, oh, Jesus! I changed religions real quick. So I just wanted to throw that out there, so bear with me because my voice is a little crazy. This is what I wanted to get to. This is my artwork, it's not really too much. But when I think about Nas and Jay-Z, I gotta look at it from a metaphysical standpoint. Oh, I'm blocking the joint? I'm gonna have to stand up over here. Oh, okay. Yeah, we using that. So, when I look at it, I'm looking at it from a metaphysical standpoint right now. So I know that Nas is a Virgo, and that's an earth sign. All right? So his opposite of earth would be water. I know that Jay-Z is a Sag, and he's a fire sign. So his opposite would be air. So you have earth, air, fire, and water. The basis of all things that we alchemists is creating, and the pyramids, when you look at it, the crystallized point of the pyramid is ether. That's the black dot. And what did Nas hit Jay-Z with? Ether. The ether. Okay, so you're looking at earth, air, fire, water, ether. So when you bring them two brothers together, you create earth, air, fire, water, ether, which can easily lead to the takeover, which is what Jay-Z hit Nas with. So understand, there's things going on higher levels that you may not pick up right away. So Nas, Jay-Z, earth, air, fire, water, ether, takeover. Because if they do it right, they could take hip-hop over. Those are two mighty forces in hip-hop. All right. This is all pre-lecture stuff, you know what I'm saying? These are black people still working their way into the movie theater while the coming attractions is going. You know how black people get, we get there late. But there's a tangled web that we weave when we talk about Jay-Z, Nas, and because a lot of things we thought their beef was about differences in ideology, it was over women. Hold on, because Jay-Z's, Nas's ex-wife, Carmen, has a new book coming out. Talking about the real beef between Nas and Jay-Z was over her. So, I looked at that and I said, well, damn, you know, Nas, Jay-Z, her name was Carmen, but you also got to realize that Jay-Z used to date Aaliyah. You follow what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that. They think Dame Dash was the only one dating Aaliyah. Before Dame Dash was dating Aaliyah, Jay-Z was dating Aaliyah. We know that Aaliyah is also going to be connected to R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Because he was on some pedophile-ish early, way back. Let's keep that real. I love the music, so you got to be able to separate the two. I love the music, but it's no excuse for you to be with a 14-year-old girl and you're 22, 23 years old. That shows where your mentality is. But we also know that Jay-Z stabbed Lance Rivera. And it was supposed to be over bootleg CDs, but it wasn't. It was over Charlie Baltimore.
What?
A lot of people don't know Jay-Z used to mess with Charlie Baltimore. But we do know Charlie Baltimore was Betty's girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm showing you this tangled web that we weave in. Okay? Now, you got Dame Dash, we know was messing with Aaliyah, okay. We know Beyonce is Jay-Z's girl. But in Carmen's new book, you're gonna find out that one time she came home and checked Nas's cell phone, and he had Beyonce's number in his cell phone. And said that Beyonce gave him the number and she was trying to get up with him. So I wanted to just show you that this is, we got to throw Foxy in there. You know, she started out with Nas and she got with Jay. She might be with everybody. So we want to throw that in there. I want to illustrate this and show you that it's a tangled web. It's a round robin. You know, they all keep that all in the family, all in the business. So I thought that was interesting for us to share. Alrighty. I wanted to show this. This is key because if New York is the crown of hip-hop, like it came out of the mind of us in New York, the Dirty South would have to be the root chakra, or South Gate. Looking at it metaphysically. That's all I'm saying, okay? So if New York is the North Gate, we created it then, and this is why when I say root chakra, I'm talking about that energy, that sexual energy. That's why down here you hear a lot of this sexual energy, you know, sexual songs in the South. It's what it is. It's that South Gate energy. You follow what I'm saying? Laffy Taffy. Anybody read this shit? That would have never flew 10 years ago. Nowhere. Shake that Laffy Taffy. So what the hell is this? But when you understand that hip-hop is now like a corporation, this was a brilliant song to me, Laffy Taffy, because ain't nothing but strip clubs out here. So when you think about what's going to come on in a strip club, it's going to be Shake That Laffy Taffy. And therefore a song like that has a market for it now, where it would never have a market 10, 15 years ago. You had to be saying something, lyric-wise, or so forth and so on. So now we understand, metaphysically speaking, why down here in the Dirty South, we get a lot of those songs dealing with their root chakra. And this is funny because even if you switch this part out and go to the West Coast, it's the same thing. We know that the crown of that is New York. So I wanted to share those things. I wanted to end here. The end of an era. You know what I'm saying? Once we lost Rosa Parks, and not too long after we lost Coretta Scott King, that was to me the very end of that civil rights era. It's the mother of the civil rights. And she held it down just as much. And I was watching a documentary on Rosa Parks, and growing up in school, when they teach you about the bus boycott and stuff like that, I thought the bus boycott was like maybe 3 days. I said, good, black people got together for 3 days and shut the city down. It was over 365 days.
381.
381 to be exact. Can you imagine? You can't get niggas to stop buying gas for one day here. In this day and time, you'll stop buying gas. Hell no, son, I gotta get gas. I gotta do what I gotta go. Our people had such a strong bond in the 60s. It was so ridiculous. I wish we had that bond today. To go 381 days and say, we gonna walk, I will walk, no riders today. That was the key. The bus opened up, no riders today. And black people was on the underground said, look, we need over here, what you need? You need a ride, I'm gonna pick you up. And it was such a bond. They had to break that bond. They had to. Because when you want to know about the unknown, you study the known. If I'm doing any kind of equation, I study what I know, which will give me a projection of things I don't know. At that point, if you study the way black people was and our leaders and so forth, where we supposed to be today, if we stayed the course, so they knew they couldn't have that. So they had to kill all those leaders off, big time. And you can kill off the physical energy, but you can't kill off the spirit of it. So it would rear its head again from time to time. So when they killed off the Black Panthers and all those leaders, hip-hop reared its head. It reared its head, and if you remember, hip-hop was revolutionary. From the beginning, we partied a little bit, but then it got to the point where it was revolutionary. So they had to counter that with this matrix, which is a system that has been put in place to destroy hip-hop. And we're going to deal with that today. So this is just my backdrop, things that's been going on early. In Paris, you know, they had the riots and stuff going on recently. They blamed it on hip-hop. Yep. They blamed it on the lyrics, and they banned those groups because they don't have so-called freedom of speech. They banned those groups for kicking revolutionary lyrics to incite so-called riots. If fighting the power is inciting a riot, then that's what we need to be doing. So I wanted to mention that. I also read some things on Brazilian hip-hop. Everything in Brazil when it comes to hip-hop is revolutionary. They don't make party, shake your ass lyrics. None of that. They got guns and they talking about, and they real disgusted with us over here. They like, oh, what is this nonsense? You follow what I'm saying? So we got to be real clear.
Brazil was one of those places where they took a large number of black people from Africa. There in Brazil.
Right.
They still got that spirit.
They still have that spirit. And when you begin to travel, you'll understand, like overseas, and I've been quite a few places, they're still into the heart of hip-hop. They were in the 80s. Basically, in terms of, you know what I'm saying, break dancing, the graffiti, they into all of the elements of hip-hop. Right. The true elements. They're like, what is this going on in America? What is this shit? So they still love and appreciate
the culture.
The culture.
Capoeira, all of these things.
All of that.
Right.
They love that to death.